Okay, so I've been trying to get to this video for probably like over a week now. Last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, I got a DM and it's like, it was in my request. So I'm actually really surprised that I even saw it. So somebody reached out to me and they were like, hey Chelsea, I wanted to reach out to you about something. I've had your book for a really long time, which obviously made my heart skip a beat. So I'm thinking we're going like in one direction and then we like swerve hard in another direction. She's like, last week or like some short period of time ago, she was like, I overheard a family member speaking negatively to my 3-month-old, like her little teeny tiny precious baby, about her skin tone. And she has this like sweet little cocoa baby, just like I do. And she was like, I know as a parent of, basically a dark-skinned little girl, like, what are the things that you're doing to empower her, encourage her? My little one is 2.5, so she's a little older. And she's like, what are you doing to help like instill those like qualities in her so that she basically won't have a complex about being dark growing up, or at least be in an environment where it's celebrated and supported. And it's funny because it's like, I feel like there's so much content online that like creators are making about colorism, and part of me kind of got to a point where I was like, man, like I feel like we're getting colorism stories all the time, but it's because it's just such a big part of like our culture and it just drives me crazy. So long story short, I was ready to fight. I had to like rewrite my response like on several occasions because I was like, no, I don't want to bring that energy to this. Like, let's try to be level-headed about it. So I was like, hey, I was like, one, obviously I'm so sorry that that's even like something that you experienced. I was like, and two, it kind of made me reflect. So a lot of times I feel like when I'm seeing stories about colorism, people are sharing these like personal experiences that they had growing up, or even things that are happening currently. But what I really liked was that she asked specifically, like, like what are the things that you're doing like in your household? So I think I just wanted to really hone in on that and take the time to like focus on how my parents did a phenomenal job, like raising us in a household where like it was just black is beautiful, we're all black. And that was the mindset that I think, I can't speak for my siblings, there's 4 of us, but it really was the mindset that I had. I didn't have like any of these notions of like light is better, dark is worse, dark is better, light is, like, it was just black is beautiful, and that was the end of it. And that goes on both sides of our family, my husband's family and my family. So yeah, we have 0 tolerance for that. I think the most helpful part about having households where that is just not part of the conversations that are happening, they're not narratives that are happening, it's that it creates like an environment where it just isn't even present. Like, yes, we know that those are conversations and mindsets that people are going to have in other spaces, but also representation is very important, like, and almost to the point where maybe people would consider it a little extreme. But with our little one, for instance, like, her books are beautiful little black kids and kids that have brown skin. The books that we are giving our friends, we share that as well. But like the movies that we're putting on for her are characters where the characters are brown. The little shows that we put on her are characters where the characters are brown, and they have afro puffs and they have braids and they have twists and they have all these different things. Like, I remember when I was little, I was probably like maybe like 5 or 6, I can't remember what it was, but my favorite movie in the world was Cinderella, and I would watch that movie almost every day. I mean, I loved that movie. I loved all like the magic and everything. And one day I woke up and the movie was broken, and I was like, what happened? And my parents were like, it's broken, we don't know what happened, it broke. And I remember being like just crushed. Like, I was so sad about that. And later on, my mom was like, Charles, like, I wasn't gonna have you like worshiping this little like blonde white girl in this movie. She was like, so we got rid of it. And it was like, to me, I was like, I think like sometimes you just have to like make executive decisions, especially when your kids are really little and maybe they're too young to quite understand like the fullness of like the message that you're trying to teach them, or like, and this isn't a conversation about diversity. This is specifically about recognizing the fact that we're in a society where certain things that like should just be an even playing field for everyone, an equal playing field for everyone, they just aren't. So I genuinely think that you have to work 2 times as hard, 3 times as hard. I also think that like it's okay to be confrontational. That's another thing that I said in the message. I said, look, I think part of the problem is a lot of times we laugh and roll our eyes when family members say stuff that's not cool, or good friends say stuff. Confront them. Hey, I don't play that way. Hey, I don't talk like that. Hey, I don't want those conversations happening around my kids. And that goes for like, forget just like colorism, that goes for like homophobia, any type of hate speech, all those different things. Like, I think we just need to really like lean into a space where we create a standard for ourselves in terms of like, this is the environment that I'm creating for my kids. This is the way that I want them to feel. Nomi gets loved on all day long. It is, Nomi, you're so beautiful. Nomi, you're so precious. Nomi, I like your hair. When I see other kids that have hair like her, I say, oh, her hair's so pretty. Her hair's so beautiful. Other kids that, you know, like that just kind of have, especially if they have like a deep, warm brown, like skin tone, just different things that I try to do so that she's constantly getting those checkpoints of, oh, that's beautiful. Mommy thinks that's beautiful. Daddy thinks that's beautiful. Grandma and grandpa think that's beautiful. My aunts and uncles. Like, it is so incredibly important, and I just don't think we can understate it. So yeah, we got to do the work, and we have to do it consistently. And unfortunately, it's not something that I think that we should brush off. I think it's something that we should hit head on every time. Because if our kids aren't hearing that they're beautiful from us, who are they going to hear it from? Now, to circle back, the irony is that I'm pretty sure in the message she mentioned that the comment was actually made from like a child, like somebody in the family. So that's anybody basically under 18 as far as I'm concerned. I fought the urge to get in the weeds about like, okay, like how old was the kid? Like what do they look like? You know, all that type of stuff, because that's beside the point. And I don't think that that's like, you know, where she was trying to go with it. Her focus was just like, how can I empower my little one as she gets older? Or are you doing anything that you think is helpful for that? So yeah, I think that it just makes me sad, like that, like a little kid is even communicating that to a baby. Like, I love babies so much. When I see them, I'm just like, oh baby, you know, I'm just like smitten. And the fact that like those conversations or those thoughts or whatever mindset has already been transferred to somebody who's a kid is just really unfortunate. So yeah, man, we gotta fight it and fight it and fight it and fight it and fight it until it's just no longer a thing. And most importantly, make sure that all of our beautiful Black babies know that they are beautiful and celebrated. And that's just what it is.